All right, welcome to part 2. This is the history of Mr. Bedevil Blues. We couldn't actually find the red leather lycra outfit for Shawnee, so he left it behind. All the ladies just like had that sigh of like, oh, disappointment.
That's for the late set.
That's for the late set, yeah. It's the close when we close up, when we have like a lock-in. So we're going to play a little song by Reverend Gary Davis. This is a little song called Say No to the Devil. And this one's a little sing-along as well. I'll give you a little bit of a heads up of how to sing it. It goes like this. Say no to the devil. Say no. Say no to the devil. Say no. The devil is a deceiver. He won't treat nobody right. Say no to the devil. Say no. So that's your part. Say no to the devil. Say no. Say no to the devil. Say no. The devil is a deceiver. Won't treat nobody right. Say no to the devil. Say no. The devil is a big liar. Say no. The devil is a big liar. Say no. The devil is a deceiver. He won't treat nobody right. Say no to the devil. Say no. Don't pay no mind to the devil. Say no. Don't pay no mind to the devil. Say no. The devil is a deceiver. He won't treat nobody right. Say no to the devil. Say no. Make you steal and gamble. Say no. You make you steal and gamble. Say no. The devil is a deceiver. He won't treat nobody right. Say no to the devil. Say no. Oh, we heard double bass there. Say no to the devil. Say no. Everybody now. Say no to the devil. Say no. The devil is a big sinner. Won't take everybody. There's the devil. Say no to the devil. Say no. Say no to the devil. Say no. Say no to the devil. Say no. The devil is a deceiver. He won't treat nobody right. Say no. Thank you. All right. So we're going to do a little song in 12-bar blues. Who knows what 12-bar blues in this room is? Oh, there you go. There's a few of them. Oh, there you go. Yeah, always. Mr. Flat Third over there. And that's how she will ever be known. In fact, we'll get the T-shirt printed, actually. It'd be good. No, that's good. I appreciate that. That's good. So 12-bar blues is basically the format what blues is made on. In fact, we don't do many 12-bar blues tunes. In fact, the song we next do actually isn't 12-bar blues, but I'll show you what a 12-bar blues is. It's basically it's a kind of the format of blues music. So back in the day when people are travelling around on boxcars and freight trains, they used to call them bums and hobos. Nowadays they call them musicians. And basically, they used to kind of travel around between camps during the Great Depression era, and they needed a form of music that they could actually jam on, because when you're jamming with someone like, say, me, Crystal's at a party, and we can't find songs we know to put together, we can basically use blues as that kind of classic thing. One of the classic things you see sometimes when you see bands, when you have like a band showcase, and they always have a thing at the end. They say, let's get all the bands together and play a song at the end. And so then what happens is everyone piles up on the stage like this, and they're trying to work out a song they know. Let's do, Sweet Alabama, I don't know one. How about let's do Pink Floyd? No, I don't know that one. So then they'll spend about half an hour deciding which song to do, until someone has a bright idea and says, let's just do Midnight Special. And that's because it's a 12-bar. It's basically a common language you can play. So what a 12-bar is, basically, it's 12 bars, as you imagine, of blues, which you can imagine. And basically, it comes from an old British folk tradition. So there's actually British folk format that came into America, and then it formed into blues, where it formed into African music, and then that's how you made blues. And so the 12-bar is basically 1 bar of this. Oh, actually, it can be 4 bars of this sometimes. We'll do 4 bars of this.
3, 4.
And then it goes, so it's the E, and then into the 4th chord, which is the A. And then back to the E again, which is the 1st chord, if you're in E blues. And then the 5th chord, which is B7, A7, E7. And then back to the B7. So that last chord is called a turnaround chord. The idea of a turnaround chord is basically if you do this, and you go, so you feel like you've kind of come home. Whereas if you do this, and you go like this, it feels like the plane hasn't landed. It's got this kind of tension about it. It's unresolved. It's a bit like when you have an argument with someone and they're walking along the other side of the street. You have this sort of tension between you and them. That's the tension. So that's the bit where we do, good night, Seattle, you've been a great audience. And we go, boom, like that. And that's where Sean has his big drum roll at the end of it as well.
Oh, shit, we're in Adelaide. Whoops, not Seattle.
Yeah, that's right. I always forget where I was. I just flown in from Seattle, just for this gig, and I'm back. But so this is a little song called Old Devil. This is a song by Bo Carter. I told you, Bo Carter basically was in the Mississippi Sheiks with Sam Chapman and people like that. And he also had a kind of career doing solo stuff as well. And he did dirty blues, songs like Your Biscuits Are Big Enough for Me, Warm My Wiener, which is another classic blues tune. True songs. These are the songs that Shawnee sings to his girlfriend at night. Actually, lullabies, he calls them. Well, it certainly gets into bed anyway. So. But this is a little song called "Old Devil." Yeah, it's on the couch. Yeah. Tonight, yeah. So it goes to the 12-bar blues anyway. Get back, old devil, don't come round no more. So that's your E. Come back, old devil, don't come round no more. Come back, old devil, don't come round no more. That's your 12 bar. So that's the turn around, like that. And then what you do basically to do the rest of to actually liven it up is you play the chord in different places. So that's A. A can be played here as well. There's E. E can be played there as well, and also here. played here. A can be played there, but also there, and also there. E, and then back to B. And that's what I spend my life doing. Thank you very much. So let's do the song. This isn't actually a song in 12 bars. I'm actually going against exactly what I've just taught you, but it's kind of in 12 bars. The only thing is, well, I'll give you the point difference. It kind of goes on this chord a little bit longer. So some real good blues players kind of made it, sort of change the actual structure. But anyway, it's sort of a 12 bar. So that's close enough. Get your soap and water, wash your dirty self. Some low-down scoundrel's been fishing in my pond. Some low-down scoundrel been fishing in my pond, catching all my game fish, grinding up their bones. Look upon yourself, get your soap and water, wash your dirty self. Woo! you soap and water and wash your dirty self. Come back, oh devil, don't come round no more. Come back, oh devil, don't come round no more. Come back, oh devil, look upon your shelf. Get you soap and water, wash your dirty self. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So we're going to do this is a song called Cocaine. This is another Reverend Gary Davis one. And so there's like always that kind of constant battle between people playing blues and then being churchy and then being blues. And this was kind of one of his off moments. But great for us. This song actually is quite funny. It's got like a real catchy tune, catchy chorus. And so when we play this song sometimes on a Sunday at the Wheaty, kids will kind of sing along to it, the chorus of it, and then presumably go to childcare the next day and get the police called. So it was always good. Well, it's good for us because we're not there. So. We don't see the mayhem it causes. This is also a jazz chord. Thank you very much. It's the only jazz chord you'll hear all night, so enjoy it. It's a diminished chord if anyone wants to. If you're that nerdy. I won't ask if you know what a diminished chord is. But anyway, this is a little song called Cocaine. I've got a good story about this as well, actually. It involves a drum skin, a transit van, and police horses. So if you want to hear how that connects together, just ask me, or more to the point, ask Sean, actually. So yes.
That's my roommate, that's not me.
That will never die, that one.
Any police in the crowd tonight, actually?
Yeah, undercover. If you're playing, probably undercover, yeah. So. Cocaine. Here comes my mama dressed in black. Please, please, mama, I want you back. Cocaine running round my brain. And here comes my baby all dressed in white. And come on, baby, won't you stay the night? Cocaine running round my brain. Mama all dressed in red, and come on, baby, let's go back to bed. Cocaine running round my brain. Here comes my baby all dressed in blue. I know, mama, just what to do. Cocaine running round my brain. Come, baby, please, come quickly, so cocaine is making me sick. Cocaine running round my brain. Talk about the cocaine, Corey. well, double bass there. Well, cocaine's for horses, not for men. It's gonna kill you, baby, but I won't say when. Cocaine running round my brain. You got a nickel, I got a dime. You buy the coke and I'll buy the wine. Cocaine running round my brain. Come, baby, please come quick. This old cocaine is making me sick. Cocaine running round my brain. Sweet cocaine running round my brain. Your cocaine running round my brain. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to do the next tune we're going to do is a song by Muddy Waters. So, this one's a sing-along as well. You can actually join in this one. So the Muddy Waters was a kind of classic story where, so essentially the blues was forgotten about by generally the American public for a while. So basically they recorded in the early sort of 30s doing what they called race records. So they were kind of for basically a black American population. And then they sort of disappeared, had the Great Depression, all the record companies sort of died and all the record pressing plants died as well. And so there's basically nothing happened for years. And that was it for blues. And then it basically wasn't until the British blues explosion people started to come over from England to actually find out where these people lived. So they would use the places they played to find out where they actually lived. So Aberdeen, Mississippi, or Bentonia, or all these sort of places that they kind of sang about in their songs. They kind of found them and then sort of searched out all these blues players. So Muddy Waters, the classic story was basically when the Rolling Stones went to America, and they went on the Ed Sullivan show, and Ed Sullivan said, what do you want to see while you're in America? And they said, Muddy Waters. And he said, well, where's that? Because they didn't know who he was at that stage. And so it was actually just people like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and some American people as well, like John Fahey and that, sort of rediscovered these blues players that had sort of basically stopped playing for years. So, and this is a song called Got My Mojo Working, and this is sort of basically flavoured by the voodoo sort of tradition that came from Africa and into the blues as well. So, part of the we were talking about jazz before. Part of the actual history of jazz as well was basically there was this in America they had a thing called a Jim Crow law, and basically the idea is that if you were black, you were black, but if you were kind of half caste, you were kind of white. And so these people who Creole people who actually got educated in the white universities because they were kind of classed as white, even though they were half sort of African American. And then they changed the law in the Jim Crow law, and they basically said anyone who has any black heritage is black. And so these Creole people who had all these university education and learned music through Western sort of style had this awkward conversation with the full African American people, and then said, "Oh, hey, you know, we were not friends, but now we're friends again." And so that's how jazz was born. Basically, you had people who had actually learned university music, and then formed jazz. So this is the Mojo Working. This is a little voodoo tune, but you can sing along with this as well. my mojo working. Got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. Okay, want some a little help out here as well. So I'm going to do, I'll say, I got my mojo working if you can answer me. It's what's called a call and answer. This is from the old early blues traditions of field hollers. And so if I go, I got my mojo working, you can answer me. Goes like this. And I got my mojo working. Oh yeah. Got my mojo working. Oh, nice. Got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. Got my mojo working. Don't do like a man. Nice. I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. And I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. Don't you mind, man? I got my mojo working. 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 Just to mind the man. I got a gypsy woman giving me advice. Got a gypsy woman giving me advice. A whole lot of tricks gonna be around. I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working. I got my voodoo working. I got my rabbit's foot working. I got my mojo working. Don't do like a man. I got my mojo working. 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 Don't know what to do. I got my mojo working. 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 Just to my command.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. It's coming quite apparent that the devil set has more fun. I'm not sure if that's We're going to do a little song called Stones in My Pathway. So this is a song by Robert Johnson. So you can't have a devil blues... what am I doing? Can't have a devil blues show without Robert Johnson. So Robert Johnson was a classic devil myth. And he was the one that sold his soul at the crossroads, essentially.
I think I sold my soul to the last beer.
What was that?
Sold my soul to the last beer, I reckon.
Yeah. So basically, the idea is that he kind of was kind of an average blues player, then he went away and became a really great blues player. And they worked out that actually the secret to that is practice, and lots of it. And he actually had a guitar teacher called Ike Zimmerman. who actually taught him for those basically that 6 months of intensive playing, and then he came back and he was a lot better player. So, but the only reason they could actually ascribe to that change was basically that he sold his soul. I've actually got a Robert Johnson joke that goes along with this whole show, but actually it's probably about time it retired for this one. But I'll bring it back in the fringe maybe. It's probably its 7th birthday of the actual joke. It's not that great. Anyone heard the Robert Johnson joke?
Yes.
Put hands up if you've heard it. Oh no, actually. Maybe I will bring it back.
Oh, that's such a setup, Cal.
It's such a setup, isn't it?
Should I do it?
Should I?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Who wants me to do this joke? Yeah, that's how needy I am.
Such a tease with these jokes.
Well, I'll give you the Robert Johnson joke.
Just don't laugh.
It needs a beer for that one.
Do you have a better one?
No,
Can
don't
I answer
actually.
that for you?
Not yet. I'll work on that. So basically, here we go. Here's the Robert Johnson joke. There's actually kind of education in it as well, so it's not too bad, but it's not too painful. If anyone's heard it, just block your ears. Anyway, so yeah. So the idea was basically that so Robert Johnson didn't have a guitar when he first started playing, and so he basically had to fashion a guitar out of an old, or out of his house, essentially. And so he basically used chicken wire, and he had 3 strips of chicken wire, and he nailed the chicken wire on the house, basically. And you used a massive bottle like that, and then slid up and down the strings of his house, of the chicken wire. So basically the idea of the house was kind of like a resonating box, like a guitar. So he basically played his house with his slide, essentially. So here's a joke. So not only did he create early blues music, he also created early house music. Thank you, that joke. You've served me well for 7 years. In fact, the setup's probably more amusing than the actual joke. Anyway, but it's actually, speaking of which, though, this thing on my finger, this is kind of talking about slide. We haven't talked about slide yet. So the idea of slide basically is you're playing over these fret markers. So when you play a normal guitar, you fret a note between those 2 metal markers. And with the slide, you actually got to cut the slide in half on the metal marker. So you got to actually play, so your fret's like that small. So we call it playing on the knife edge, which makes slide guitar players sound cooler than what they actually are, because we're essentially nerds. And but basically, you got to get it really accurate, because if you do it like slightly left, you get flat. Slightly right, you get sharp, and then you've got to get right in the middle. So actually, I learned slide guitar in the UK off a teacher, and basically, if I didn't actually get the intonation right on the top of the fret marker, he used to burn me with cigarettes. I still actually got the marks. They're sort of healed after a while, but the psychological scars are still there. But this is
The technique works. He's adopted it. And used
yeah,
it.
it works. It works.
remember.
I do it with my students. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, nothing like a good burn to get them motivated. But you can actually make them out of glass. This is actually made out of an old medicine bottle. You can actually make them out of metal, bone, ceramic, all sorts of stuff as well. So they all have different sounds. But as I said, going back to the full circle, back to the start of the gig, even though it seems many years ago, many jokes ago, it basically, many hilarious jokes ago, is that unique sound is just really sort of, just really appealed to me, well, it's appealed to me forever, basically. So there's nothing really sounds like that. Yeah. So this is a little song called Stones in My Pathway. This is an old Robert Johnson tune. I got a bird to whistle, got a bird to sing. Bring my loving, Lord, don't need nothing. Got stones in my pathway, roads seem dark at night. I got stones in my pathway, roads seem dark at night. Pain in my heart, leaving my outlook. Pain in my heart, leaving my outlook. Pain in my heart, leaving my appetite. Thank you, thank you. All right, we've got a couple more tunes left of this set, so I'm going to just tune down to open G. Now we know what open tunings are. We've just been through all that. So usually when you play blues, when I first started playing blues, I thought, oh, that'd be good. Nice way to meet girls, you know, when you first started. How wrong was I? Or you meet as bearded men talking about, what gauge strings are you using and what tuning was that? That's all you get. That's all you get to take home with you. So I wake up tomorrow morning, I'll be a bearded man next to me. Asking me about tunings. I'll be like, oh.
That's the mirror.
What a night. It was, yeah, probably, yeah. Oh, nice, I like that. Yeah, that's for him. See that? That's for him, yeah. We're giving away free drum rolls for jokes. I bet he's a very nice man. I bet he cooks a nice breakfast.
Rips the poached egg.
So we're going to do a song. This is actually by Skip James. I keep saying it's one of my favourite blues players. They're actually all my favourite blues players, but Skip James particularly, when I first started listening to blues. So some people, when they hear me sing, some actually walk out the door, and then some stick around and they actually say, you sound a lot like our Blinder Wilson from Canned Heat. That's what I get from bearded men, that tunings and guitar strings. But actually, Al Wilson kind of sounds like Skip James, and so I kind of sound like Skip James in a way. So that's my kind of. So it kind of, and the thing about Skip James is actually he's got quite a sort of high blues voice. So you always thought blues, you always thought Howling Wolf. So I thought, well, I'll never get to that like low sort of frequency. So Skip James was a lot more accessible, but also just an amazing musician as well. And he played a lot in the minor tunings. We talked about minor tunings, the flat third over that guy over there. And that was quite unique for the blues because all the blues was just major tunings. So he made this minor tuning. But Skip James, another one you can Google when you go home. Absolutely amazing, like really ethereal music, just out of this world. So he did a song called "I'd Rather Be the Devil," and then Robert Johnson sort of did his own version of this. John Martin did an amazing version of this. Anyone heard of John Martin in the audience? John Martin, yep. He does an amazing version of "Rather Be the Devil." Actually, I saw him play his last concert in Leeds, and John Martin was a kind of a folk blues player in England, and he sort of had one leg when I saw him play, because he basically did so much drugs and drink. That's a warning to Shawnee over here.
Is this an intervention?
And so he basically lost his leg, and so he blamed on his Les Paul. He said the Les Paul was too heavy, and that's why he had to lose his leg. But it was actually not the years of abuse. But he came onto stage like an old Gandalf. He came in this white robe and a staff, and he sat down with his SG and asked the audience for a doobie, and they got the doobie, and they smoked that, and then he played the song, and it was absolutely amazing. So John Martin's another one you can Google when you get home as well. So a song called "Rather Be the Devil." devil, leave my baby's mind. Laid down last night, trying to get my rest. Laid down last night, trying to get my rest. Doing on the Bible, walk east from the west. All the time, woman I love, she's evil all the time. Studied so much evil just to my mind. Woman I love, stole it from my best friend. Woman I love, stole it from my best friend. Know he'll get lucky, steal her back again. Tell you about it, Corey. Rather be the devil, be thou honest man. But the devil, leave my baby's mine. Rather be the devil, be thou honest man. Rather be the devil, be thou honest man. Nothing but the devil, leave my baby's mine. Thank you very much. We've got one tune left the whole night. We've got to be punctual around here. So we're going to finish on, this is another Robert Johnson song, but I won't give you the Robert Johnson joke again because you suffered enough. So
Can we have a big round of applause for Cal? Got a great musician and a great comedian too. No, absolutely pleasure working with this man. He runs his own school, writes prolifically music and teaching books and jokes. Yes.
Jokes.
It's just an all-round good feeling when you're with Cal.
no one ever buys those joke books, though.
Yeah.
They sit on the shelf. Over
Have you ever bought a joke book that's actually funny? Like, no. But anyway,
joke, mate.
yeah, absolutely pleasure playing with you. And
Oh,
Sean, just vibrant energy. So thanks for coming out tonight and letting us play to you.
And thanks to Guy Howard, the loveliest person in the whole universe. So please give me a round of applause. So we're going to have a big one on this one. This is going to be the last song of the set. So thanks for coming out tonight. And this is going to be like a taster of the Fringe. So we're all geared up for next year as well. It's going to be very exciting. We're probably going to do another gig in November here, doing an album launch. So sort of collectively, sometimes you'll see the name Great Moose. We're doing the party at the NOLA. What do you call it? The laneway party things.
Block party, street
That's it,
party,
block party, that's it. We're doing that as Great Moose. So yeah, if you ever see the great name Great Moose, that's what we are, basically. But I have got some of those books and some CDs if you want, but you don't have to. And this is a... and that usual underselling way of mine. Well. My skills lie elsewhere, not in selling. Thank you to Kev on sound. Please give him a massive round of applause. We love having Kev. He is actually literally part of this band. He's such a pleasure to have him doing sound. He just makes it so beautiful up here. In fact, we get spoiled because every time we play a gig somewhere else, it's like, oh, bloody hell, where's Kev? So it's he's amazing. And also Rhea on the door for being absolutely amazing as well. So please give a round. All right. That's enough of those happy things. We're in the devil blues. What are we talking about? So we're going to leave you with this last tune. This is Possession Over Judgment Day. It's one of my favourite Robert Johnson tunes. And we'll probably have to leave with this because it's we have to finish at 7. So that'll probably be the last song. So thank you again for coming, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank my parents as well. They're over in the corner there. If you wanna. Without them, I wouldn't be here. This is a little song. Possession of Judgment Day. Hear a bit of Shawnee. Rolling night tumble, crowd all night long. Mama, mama, don't listen to me. I had possession over Judgment Day. Had possession over Judgment Day. When I've been loving without the right to pray. When I've been loving without the right to pray. When I've been loving without no right to pray. Thank you very much. We'll see you later on. Thank you, thank you. Corey Holden on double bass, Johnny on drums. I'm Calvin Jr. I'll see you soon. Thank you, thank you.
She took a spoonful of honey, stirred it around some fruit from the apple tree, a whole lot of juice from a sugar cane, the sting from a buzzing bee. She mixed it up in a cup and drank it down. Then she smiled and offered me some. I didn't know what it was, but it tasted sweet. I didn't worry